Go live, tweet that shit out. And we are live. 106.99. Chicago Bulls get on a win streak for the first time this season. And we got Josh on the line. What's up, Josh? How you feeling?
What's going on, man? First win streak of the season feels good. I mean, didn't happen. Wasn't the most exciting game by any means, but pulled through in the end.
At least we got the win. I mean,
Yeah,
the fourth quarter wasn't the best to start out, to say the least, I guess, because the lead was still, we were still up like, what was it? How much were we up by? 7, then 8, 15. So we were up 14 going into the fourth, but they just crumbled. And honestly, I was getting really worried. But then Zach Lavine came through, and those are the things that we needed to happen, that we needed happening during the time that, like, it was just an ugly game. Why did that happen, Josh?
yeah, it was an ugly game, and I mean, there's not really much to explain except Jonas Valanciunas got pretty hot. No one could really guard him. I mean, the Bulls they didn't really play start to finish like we hoped they would when they're like up 22 points. When I think before even halftime they're up that big, and yeah, I think they're just learning, young teams learning how to close out games and stuff. I mean, they could have keep putting the pressure on, keep growing that lead, but I mean, I don't have too much to complain about. A win's a win.
So what are you happy about today?
I'm happy that we saw Lavine close without taking bad shots. I'm happy that Markkinen had a really nice game. He only took 9 shots, but he made 5 of them, and he actually the stat line 15 points, 5 rebounds. I mean, it looks like what he's
And
had all
one
season, but
smile. And one smile.
and one smile. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he was doing it efficiently, and the shots are actually dropping rather than him taking 15 shots just to get 15 points. So it's good to see Larry get back on track. And obviously Wendell just having a block party as usual.
Wendell is just a monster. 16 points, 13 boards, 4 blocks for Wendell. Did get caught a couple times, more than a couple times actually. 5 turnovers, more than he normally has. So that's surprising, but he's just a monster. Always doing what he needs to do. 5 of 8, efficient game too. 6 of 8 from the line. And that's one more thing I wanted to point out with Lavine. 9 of 11 from the line. Getting to the rim was aggressive. 25 points, 6 boards, 3 assists for Lavine. It's just nice to see Lavine, Wendell, and Markkinen all three have a good game at the same time, right? Nothing was
Oh yeah.
crazy out of the ordinary in their performances, but they just all had a solid game. And I think when that happens, they're gonna win more times than not. Hopefully, the offense doesn't bog down like it did in the start of the fourth. But it's still more positive than not, I think. We got to remember John Morant and Brandon Clark were out too. So this is a Memphis team that's already supposed to not be that great. Missing 2 of their top, I don't know, definitely their best player, and then maybe 2 of their top 5 guys, maybe. But anyway, what else stuck out to you? Because those 3 guys played well. All right, Saturansky and Dunn were at double figures in points too. So all starters scored 10 points or more. How'd you think they did?
I think Chris Dunn that he made a big three in the fourth quarter to kind of put the icing on the cake when it was getting a little close. I think he played all right. I mean, Satoransky, I didn't think he played too well, especially on the defensive end.
Dude, you
He had
are
a few.
so out on Saturansky. What was the problem with this game?
So tonight, I feel like he just gave up too many points, man. Jay Crowder was getting it's just a failure to rotate, and we saw Dylan Brooks, Jay Crowder knock down a few threes. I mean, it's not obviously all on Satoransky, but he had a few mistakes, and it just kind of pisses me off that we see Zach Levine cop so much blame, but yet nobody wants to talk about any of these other dudes that equally have as many bad defensive mistakes. I mean, Sato didn't play bad tonight, but I mean, he certainly didn't play good. 3 for 10 from the field, but the 8 assists is good to see too.
The 8 assists is good to see. 6 boards, 13 points. Okay, he wasn't very efficient. 3 of 10 from the floor, but he was making the right plays. He got to the line 9 times. Like this
Mm.
was one of Saturansky's better games. And maybe yeah, he did bog down, but 3 steals also, like that wall that he formed around D'Anthony Melton, and maybe it was because D'Anthony Melton kind of let him do that. Like Melton was kind of out of control a lot of the game, but I don't think this is the game to be disparaging Tomas Saturansky, Josh. I'm sorry. Um, but what'd you think of the bench tonight?
Well, let's just start with Denzel Valentine. I mean, why is he not starting it, or why is he not playing 25? Why? Like, honestly, tell me what he did wrong tonight.
25? 25?
I think he should be at least. I wouldn't say. Okay, I would start Denzel Valentine over Chris Dunn, just for the fact that he can shoot, and it just opens up the offense more. Chris Dunn is better at a bench role. We see at the start of the season. I mean, Chris Dunn had an all right game today, like 10, 4, and 4. But he's better off in a bench role. And him and Kobe White, when they're on the floor together, they play pretty damn well. And I think Denzel is like he started before his injury. I think Boylan forgets that he's not just some bum that can give you like spot minutes, like 5 to 10 every game. I mean, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He made two threes, and his court vision and passing is so good. And Stacey King mentioned that he might be the best passer on his team, and I don't know if you agree with that or not, but I certainly do.
Honestly, like he might be. That's not too crazy of a claim to make because Satoransky is good. Like he makes the right passes, but he's not really
Yep.
creative with his passes. I feel like maybe he
Yep.
just hasn't been put into that situation. I just know that when Denzel came out, like everything he does in terms of passing, he always likes to be flashy with it. He was a lot more flashy before his injury. Now he's trying to like get into the rotation, so he's a lot more serious. I just want to like I do want to see Denzel start feeling himself and like act a little bit cocky like he did before the injury because that's when Denzel starts getting fun. I just hope he gets
Mm.
enough like if he can stay in front of his man. I am all for Denzel Valentine being a major part of the rotation. I have nothing against the guy. Maybe it's because coming back from the injury is taking time and he might get some athleticism back. Like I'm not sure.
He's not athletic. There's
He's
no
not. He's
athleticism to
not.
get
He's
back.
not. He's not. But it depends on how detrimental it is.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, he. I think he does deserve minutes on this team. Like Archie Diakono, I think starting to just quietly fall out of the rotation a little bit tonight. Wasn't really the best game. He hit that prayer buzzer beater, but aside from that, he didn't do too much. And I think Archie Diakono is good when you need him, but certain games like this, like the Bulls really didn't need him. If you agree with that.
They didn't, and I don't know what's up with Archie. Like, not that you expect a lot from Archie anyway. You kind of
Yep.
just expect him to knock down open shots, make the right pass. But he has been kind of bogging things down a bit, and that's not usually what you see out of Archie. Maybe it's just a couple games here, and he'll get back to what he was. Maybe he's feeling the pressures of sliding more out of the rotation. I still don't understand why Shaq Harrison isn't. I'm gonna be
What even
honest.
happened to Shaq, man? Like, where did Shaq go?
Every
Has Shaq
time,
just been traded or something that we don't know about?
every Shaq DNP, it's Nawab all over again. Like why?
No, Whopper. It is
Yeah,
a, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Nawaba leaving was one of the most underrated bad moves of the Bulls'
Mm.
past couple years. Like I don't understand how you could play as well as you do for the Bulls as he did, pardon, and not get like an extension. I don't understand. Minimum extension is what he was going for. How could you not keep that guy after the performance he showed on your team? Anyway, this is not a Noah rant, but it's the same thing with Shaq Harrison. That's why I just went on this rant. It's because Shaq is getting the same treatment. Like when they are on the court, they're not doing anything. You're just basically saying, "Hey, you're not valuable." After playing decently for like he started for how many games? It just baffles me. What do you make sense of this? Because it's not like Shaq is a savior, but it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like, firstly, the Nawaba treatment is right. The bullshit at least offered him some money, considering he actually played really well in that 2017 season. Just continuing on with Shaquille Harrison, I mean, I think the problem is in that he's out of the rotation due to like bad form or whatever, like getting DMPs. Like, he's not playing when he was starting, when he was coming off the bench. He wasn't playing like badly. Like, he was putting forward some decent performances, but I think it's just that Denzel Valentine's starting to come into his own a bit. He's moved up the rankings in Boylan's ever-changing rotation. I think Archie Diakono's got more of a as ahead of Shaq Harrison. So it's just and considering Shaq's another guard too, and Kobe White, Archie Diakono, and Shaq Harrison are all and Denzel Valentine are all basically point guard, shooting guards. So I just think there's not really enough room for him, and I think that's why the Bulls were reluctant. I think he was the last player to get that guaranteed contract on the offseason. I think the Bulls were just a bit curious as to how he'd fit in, just considering how many guards are on this team. Like we talked about that in our first pod, how many guards are on this team, and yeah, I just think there's not really much room for Shaq Harrison unless no, it's just there's not really enough room for him unless Boyd wants to go for larger rotation.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of time on a guy that didn't even play tonight. But it's just every time, every DNP, I'm gonna go on the same mini rant. Like I'm sorry, it, until it starts like you know what makes sense when Luke Cornett plays and then he doesn't do well and he loses his minutes because he wasn't
Yeah,
doing well and gets a DNP after. Like that's a gradual, logical shift. Like Felicio doesn't play well, gradual, logical shift. He DNP. Hutchison, well, actually Felicia's injured, so I don't want to like, but that's just kind of how it went for him too. He showed potential, he got the contract, and then just played himself out of the rotation. I don't understand how you could play well, and then go straight to a DMP when the rotation's not different. That's just, or the players available aren't different. Um, Anyway, let's get back to some of the guys that were actually on the court. Thaddeus Young, you tweeted out, "Is there any more uncoordinated bull than Thaddeus Young?" Right?
that
So
was me,
I
man.
just wanted to go to you on that comment.
Well, he can't catch the ball, and like you're seeing this too, right? Like he cannot catch the ball, and
I mean, he caught
if
the
he
dime
was,
from Denzel.
but then he got swatted by Jaren Jackson Jr. because he went up so slowly. It's like we're getting Thaddeus old, and like we're not getting Thaddeus young, man. And no, he's
Thaddeus
playing good
old
defense.
is amazing. Oh
He's
my
playing good
god.
defense, okay, and he's being a good veteran. But when you're paying him $41 million, when there's dudes on the market like Terrence Ross, who I'm pretty high on, that would
I'm
be
pretty high on.
that would be very similar.
Zipser, who we're high
Oh
on.
man,
Sorry.
not Zipser. And when you're giving Fetty like $40 million when he's already like in his mid 30s, I think you should either expect more out of him, or if the Bulls should have just gone with somebody like Taj Gibson, and not just take anything away from Fetty Young. He's a very good basketball player. He's a professional, but I just don't think he's given the Bulls too much this season how he wants to play. I mean, some people are not going to agree with me with that, but like we should expect more from our main free agent signing, considering this guy's meant to. His job isn't to be a scorer. Don't get me wrong, but making layups and like actually hitting the rim is something he should be
Oh my god, you are
doing.
so low on the new signings. You're always on Saturetsky. You clearly have a problem with Thaddeus Young or Thaddeus Old.
He's old.
Just completely out on the free agent signings. Oh man, Josh, you kill me. But yeah, I got on the
And let's
screen
not even
both
talk about
Thaddeus,
Cornette.
both Thaddeus getting swatted, and then Sato hitting the crazy circus shot on the screen right now. Just to stick it to Josh here. But anything else from this game particularly that you want? We didn't talk about Kobe and Gafford. Kobe 3 points, 1 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 3 from the 3 point line, 5 boards and assist. And Kobe is either hot or he's not. It's pretty much that simple. There's not really been a lot of in between games for Kobe White. Like, has there been? Am I missing them, Josh? I feel like it's either like 3 points or 5 points on 2 of 10 or 1 of 8,
Yeah.
or it's like 13 of 20, like 5 of 8 from the 3 point line, 9 of 7 or 7 of 11 or whatever the stat lines are. Um, there's no in between. Why is that?
Well, like my only theory is that I mean I don't really care how badly Kobe White plays because he's 19 years old. We all know what he can do. He's going to be huge in the future. I think we just let him develop at his own pace, come into his own, just see what he can improve on as the season continues. Sure, I don't really expect because the shots he takes, like he doesn't take easy shots like quite often. I think he did have a couple like wide open threes tonight, which he didn't drop. But the shots he takes are not easy shots. So he's either gonna have it going or he's not. Like he's not like a wing like Denzel Valentine who the shots that he actually takes, wide open threes and stuff like that. Kobe White likes to take step backs, likes to take shots off the dribble. And some nights those aren't going to go in. Tonight was really an example of that. I think we see it quite a lot. And the good thing about him is that he's confident. So we see, like that next game, he struggled. He was having a game like this, like 1 for 8. And then the fourth quarter, obviously, he lit it up, hit 7 threes. And I think that's going to work in his favor quite a few times this season when the Bulls, like, desperately need him because he's just going to keep shooting. And eventually it's going to, it's going to come right. And I think, I don't know what to expect from him next game, but he's pretty streaky. He's pretty on and off, but he's 19 years old. I mean, I don't really care what he does.
Yeah, no, I feel you there. Gafford got absolutely murdered by Jaren Jackson Jr. Oh my goodness, that was ridiculous. I still like Gafford's hustle and heart out there.
Yeah.
He plays well. 4 blocks for him, so. He's going to get dunked on if you're going after all those blocks. It's fine. 4 points for him. 1 of 1, made his only shot. A couple other notes that I wanted to talk about. I feel like Wendell is still not... Like, I'm curious how he matches up with guys like Embiid because Valanciunas absolutely feasted tonight. 32 and 13 boards. 3 steals from Valanciunas as well, but the 32 and 13 on 12 of 17 shooting too, like no threes for Valanciunas either. That was kind of disturbing. I would like to see Wendell and Gafford. I mean, not really Gafford too much because he's the backup, but Wendell needs to get a bit stronger so he could defend bigger guys like this more consistently. Is that something you notice? Like what Valanciunas getting this hot was not great.
Yeah, man. I think because Wendell, I think he's sitting around 285 now, so he's put on a lot of weight considering he was 270 in his rookie year. But I think the problem is, so before he got drafted when he's playing at Duke, he's actually a power forward, and they played him at center because Marvin Bagley was on the team too. But
Yeah.
So Wendell's really like a power forward, but he's kind of been made to play the center. Larry Markin is also a power forward that should not be ever playing the center. But Wendell's 6'9", 6'10", and yeah, Jonas Valanciunas is just massive. He's like Hassan Whiteside, like who we saw a couple nights ago, just massive. And yeah, it is a little concerning when the Bulls have to play like Philly, who's got Al Horford and Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, a really really big team. And Tobias Harris, who's like basically the same size as Wendell Carter Jr. But I do think he can hold his own. I think the problem is that he's just really short compared to like big NBA centers.
What was his official height? Like 6'10" or 6'9"?
I think it's 6'9" without shoes, 6'10" with shoes.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it is a little concerning, especially because Daniel Gafford, like, he was getting cooked, and he's not really... He's long and he's lengthy, but he's not, like, big. Like, I think he'll work on the NL season, but his frame's pretty, like, slender still. So it's a little concerning that you don't have really anybody that could guard your Karl-Anthony Townses or your Joel Embiids. But, I mean, I'm not too worried about it. We have to play Philly for a while, so we should be all right for then.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fine. Like, Wendell will get bigger, and I think he'll be fine. Yeah. He's done everything else right, so I'm not too worried about it. It's just one thing that stuck out to me this game. And also people who were calling for Jay Crowder to hop on the Bulls, like, I don't think you want that necessarily. Jay Crowder is very quick to disappoint, except that one season in Boston where he was kind of going at it for the whole season. Like, Jay Crowder is not that
with great. Avery Bradley, man.
Yeah.
They were like the Marcus Smart. They're like the big three, like, get after you on defense. Yeah, man, that was a good team.
Exactly. And people were high on Avery Bradley too, but he kind of died down after that season as well.
He did.
But yeah, I think that is all. Check out our game streams, our halftime live shows, our Periscope, and our YouTube live shows. If you're catching this on a podcast, thank you for listening. Josh, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Ooh, did you want to talk a little bit about your Denzel Valentine article?
Yes, so I put something out on Denzel Valentine and why basically you should have a bigger role in on this team with all the injuries and stuff. I've got that pinned on my Twitter. Josh J Bulls Hoops. You guys can check that out there if you want to take a read. It's Got
Any
some
any
good
any
Denzel quotes
teaser?
in there.
Any teasers for us?
Any teasers? Not really, man. You could just see Denzel on the court. That's a big enough teaser that just shows he should be getting more minutes. Okay, just quickly though, can we just talk
Yes.
about Boylan? The rotations and yeah, just the rotations. He ran 10 plays tonight. I mean, do you think the rotations were right? We saw Larry rest for like and Zach Lynn rest for like 8 minutes or something like that. Yeah. What do you think of the rotations?
I mean, the rotations are fine. Like Lavine, Carter, Sato all got 33 minutes. Carter got 32. Lowry got 29, but I'm fine with Lowry getting 29 if he's going to be looking exhausted. So like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
get him less minutes. I'd rather Lowry at 29, 30 minutes and him getting his rhythm a little bit than him forcing it for 36, 37. So let's just see him be efficient, get his game back up, and then ramp up his minutes. So that I'm not too down on. Chris Dunn 24 minutes, Kobe White and Denzel like Archie, they're splitting up those minutes, and there's no real standout there with Otto Porter and Hutchison out. So you're gonna have to kind of do that by committee anyway. Maybe Zach Lavine could have gotten more minutes. He was having a good game, efficient. He didn't really look tired. It was looking effortless for him, honestly. Like if Lavine is going to
Mm,
be your go-to scorer, you're going to be relying on him. And honestly, past what 5 6 games, he's actually been pretty good, pretty consistently. So this is what we want Lavine to get to, and he should be able to give you 35 to 36 minutes.
yeah.
As your top guy. I mean, we got the win today. I think it could have been a bit better, but Lavine came in and got us back up. Sometimes that happens, and Lavine comes back in and forces it and doesn't hit his shots. Today he hit his 2 pull-up threes, and he's been hitting more than he's missing for the past few games. So that's why we thought he was good, and he needs to do that if the Bulls want to win these games. Yeah, I mean, I think the Boylan, it was fine today. It wasn't too crazy. I think what could he have done to stop the fourth quarter kind of mess of play that happened?
Mm.
I'm not fully sure. Maybe make some subs before it gets all the way down, but I feel like he did. Like there wasn't any adjustments that weren't being made that got me annoyed this game. And generally, like when I watch them, I do get annoyed. It's just like the offense bogged down. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Did you feel something different about it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I think Boylan's starting to fix it up. I think Golden State was probably his worst game where he ran all 13 dudes like before garbage time. We
Yeah.
saw like Shaq Harrison, Archie, like Valentine, and literally everybody was out there. Max Strus was getting minutes.
Well, it's just the wing thing is an
Yeah,
actual issue. Like one thing that um it's not easy to create rotations that make sense with all these guys that not all of them are extremely consistent. And honestly, Denzel has been
yeah.
pretty consistent. So like that's one thing that I can agree with you on. He has come in guns a blazing. He has been providing consistent points, consistent threat from three in the games where I think there was only one game where he was really not good, but the entire team was awful that game. So you can't really put that one on him. So yeah, I think if Denzel continues to play like this, there's no reason he shouldn't be able to handle himself on the defensive end and not become unplayable against these bench units that he's generally going up against anyway. So, yeah, I fully agree. Denzel has earned his minutes and he should have gotten his shot a bit earlier. Um,
Yeah. With Levine too, I think because you watched the Heat Raptors game, I think they should be
with
aiming.
Levine, I mean, that's the thing. Boylan does not want to go Lowry, Zach, and Denzel at the 2-3-4.
Oh, definitely not. That defense is that's a
That's
nightmare.
and I don't blame him for not starting Denzel. I'm not a proponent of starting Denzel either. But I think him being in the rotation like he's right now, maybe I'll go up from 15 to 20 minutes, maybe. But like starting him with Levine and Lowry is not really an option, and I prefer both Shaq and Chris Dunn instead. Maybe I mean I try it though. Like maybe I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just that just
Yep.
seems like it would happen. And then generally Boylan is slow to adjust, so I don't want to try that. And then the defense just go blank for a night and not adjust until
Mm.
like 2 games from then. Like
Yeah, nah, I
that's what.
agree. And like
Go ahead.
just quickly, yes. So as I was saying, you watched the Heat Raptors game. I think
I did,
the
yeah.
rotation pattern. with Zach Lavine is what Jim Boylan should be trying to do, similar to what Eric Spoelstra should do with Jimmy Butler. Like I think he should be playing all 12 minutes in the first quarter and then play basically just over half the second, play about like 8 minutes of the third, and then aim to play 8 or 9 minutes of the fourth. He should be like a 36, 37 minute dude. I think Zach Lavine. Like
The thing is,
he played
no
heavy
one
minutes under Tibbs.
no one really goes 37 minutes anymore. Like
Yeah.
league leader is like 36. I'm googling it right now. But yeah, 36 is like on the high end across the league. So
Yep.
33 isn't that crazy. Uh yeah, that's kind of all I have to say there because Bradley Beal I think led the league with 36 minutes last year. This year it's James Harden at 37.4. Second is Luka Doncic at 33.8.
Oh, so yeah, it's a big cutoff.
Actually, oh
Those
no
two.
no 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 no, I lied. Van Vliet 37.8, Harden
Van
30
Vliet.
Harden 37.4. Yeah, it was ranked on or ordered
Whoa.
on points, I think, so I just messed up.
Okay.
Um Actually there's 10 guys above 35.5 minutes. So I think Levine should be reaching that 35-minute range. I agree.
And he's like fit enough, and he's like,
He doesn't look tired.
he,
That's the thing. He looks like
no,
he could just
yeah.
go. And I think you should just go. Like let him go. Let him do what he needs to do. If he's you don't want him to get exhausted, but he has a lot of energy.
And do you remember in the 4OT game, he played all 4OTs last year against the Hawks, and he like still didn't even look that tired, and he was still putting buckets and he had like 48 points. He was still going crazy. I mean,
Yeah, well,
he can definitely play, but I don't think you need to play him 4OTs if that ever happens again.
when you fall asleep on defense as much as he does, you get a little bit more rest during the game. But
He's been good lately, man.
I'm
You
joking,
feel
man.
like he's been good lately?
I just want to get that joke in there. I'm joking.
Yeah,
Levine's
no.
been a lot better
I
these.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, because these past, like I'm saying, 5 6 games, he's been averaging above 25 points, like decent efficiency. Like he's been good.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do like a Zach Levine specific episode. We should do that actually at some point. A specific player
Yep.
episode. Just go down their games, their season so far. And you guys can catch that on Bullish Hoops on YouTube, podcast, Instagram, Twitter. Josh, thank you for hopping on. Go check out his Denzel Valentine article on where was it? The website?
OnTapSportsNet.com. Oh, sorry, .com. I
.com.
was gonna say .net, and I was like, I already said that.
Go check that out, and we'll talk to you guys next time.